Third time's the charm of me starting this video. DE Shrivel, feedback. We played this yesterday. The idea of the layout is cool. I get the idea, but execution and the theming in mind makes it so that there are tons of unnecessary stuff that makes the map feel very awkward to play. Also, the fact that it's made by two people. One of them made the B-bomb site. That was Shady's doing. I have no idea who made middle. And then Silverty made A-bomb site. So there's quite of a clash of design ideas and philosophies, I'd say. But neither of these were good bomb sites, I wouldn't say. Or I would say that they are not good. And that just goes to show that I don't know what it does it show. I'm not gonna say anything about that. Let's get to the layout. So there's a cool idea with the terrorist rotations. T's getting to mid through an apps that is like on the A outside of A side of thing, and then they get to mid past this B long type of a thing. So the rotation control for the T's is pretty much given to them already, with the expense of a CT sightline over here. This is free for T's. This is absolutely free, but we never you can't really use it without any utility, since there's like this deadly back angle. There are these boxes here. Tons of headshot angles around this whole mid area. There's like this short player, CT player could be sniping from anywhere. There's this pillar that gets in the way. It's deadly to peek into middle in all actuality, and the middle is just like filled with these boxes. Like these boxes are the ones that you have to use the gray box texturing for, to, make it clear and easily visible like this. So it's a cool idea to have this here with the expense of sightline, but it doesn't work because of all the unnecessary stuff. Also, the map had a crazy issue of rotations being like crazy long. Let me go from A side. Let's count down with me. Let's use the top radar. The clock. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 seconds through CT spawn. That's fine, I would say. Just like end up at the outskirts of the bomb site, that's fine. But you can't use the second upper entrance here, which is the heaven. This would be more direct, but rarely you are like up there anymore, so you have to go from here. Through middle. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. About 15. Yeah, this makes this fence thing, why it makes sense in Mirage is that it restricts the movement from a particular position in the map. But here it doesn't. It makes no sense whatsoever to get down to the bottom mid from like upper here. You've already made your way all the way through there to the position that's like the furthest disconnected from the level. So you might as well have a quick way to rotate back to the middle from there. Even in Mirage, you have the jump or the metallic panel you can jump up on, and you can actually stand on the fence. But here it's not possible, and you end up getting like very stuck. So there's only one way out through here, and once you like, there were a couple of rounds where cities were trying to like on our side, where cities were trying to rotate through here, and it was just like it was too late. Once you're here, like those seconds in the retake are so valuable that any time spent running around like obstructions like this triangle here. It just feels bad, so that you have to fight against the geometry of the level to end up in a position where you cannot win anymore. Also, this connector was brutally hard to push through with all the utility. Like how the most of the game was spent on T side for me, at least. I always try to smoke this off because that's the fastest rotation. And given that the cities were occupying the middle, there's going to be a player in the short area. So what I spent my time in the game was trying to just watch the smoke, and it's not really enticing gameplay to me. Once like smoke up this little thing here, and you just watch the smoke. I think there has to be like a little bit more depth into the whole area, so that the flow, you know, so that the bomb site's not so open to everything. And player positioning, like you have to position yourself outside, like a little bit better in the in the connector to get the utility that the players got right now. Like it's so powerful being in this little cubby and just like, you know, checking out the whole thing. As in, I think that connectors should be definitely open to the bomb site, but it shouldn't be like the closest entrance necessarily. Like let's take like Mirage Short or Dust 2 Short or Cache Highway. They all come out in a flanking position, much like this does. They have a good sightline to the bomb site, but getting from the connector to the bomb site is always kind of a chore. You know, there has to be a risk reward to it, and getting from the best position of rotation so directly to the bomb site in this case, it's annoying, and when I said that this was brutally hard, I meant that whenever I was pushing, like, it was so fucking hard to push, and I was mainly like trying to push through it in retakes. But yeah, it's a very predictable spot, but the position that you get and the utility that you get from it, it's a very, very powerful position. I think there's something that you can do with this, like this whole thing. Maybe make the short entrance come out in the pit or something like that. There's unlocked potential with the windows. I feel like they're positioned in a way that they just like offer you the same utility that the main entrance does. It's not. It's a neat idea, but it's missing the point of like a second angle. This general area I already gave my feedback, but now thinking of it, I still feel the same. That this whole back area is not unnecessary. It's like sheriff's department, yeah, for sure. But here again, like it's a whole building that's taking up this much space, and there could be a terrorist lurking in it in the late rounds. This offers the same utility as this box being moved here, so that you can play around it and actually hold like two angles into two choke points. How the CTs played this. There was a flash that they did. I don't know what the fuck did they do, but that flash was just like, it was murdering us every time, and it flew out there like a teeny tiny bit, and it flashed everyone. There was a round where Caspian and Shady, I think it was Caspian's flash, and Shady got like a 3k by just like peeking behind the fucking flashbang, and we tried like nading it and smoking it, but I have no idea what happened there. And smoking this up it's too much. I feel like you're blocking off your own entrance for 18 seconds while all the CTs and Ts can rotate. Like what I would want to do as a T is to take the bomb site so fast that you can actually push the choke into here. Let me end the round. Yeah, what I want to do is to push the choke so fucking hard that I can make my terrorist players hold the rotation through here, and the CTs have to cross this gap here. There's this much space that they have to like cross. I unwillingly to get to the top mid area. I had to cough there. When it comes to the whole CT mid, Jesus Christ, when it comes to this entrance, I don't think it's bad, but the feedback that I gave to Silverty yesterday or already was that this middle idea could be fleshed out more. It's funny, I made a sketch for a map that I'm making in a work environment type of a thing, and it had this kind of a thing. So it was a very like Valorant-y map anyway, but it had like a gate like this with a fence or like a wall. T entrance from here and T entrance from here. So the terrorists had a little courtyard like this. And this would go to bomb site. This would go to bomb site, and then T spawn would like wrap around all the way like that. And this would offer 2 fighting angles like this. And the T's, without taking any control over the mid, could always rotate between like back there. And if they would push this super narrow choke point, they would then have to fight pretty much like a bomb site entrance over there, like all the way very close to it, and then another like 2 choke points before the bomb site, like over here. There was no short, quote-unquote short entrance, and this upper entrance here was choked up and it would like wrap around. I'm gonna work on the map actually a little bit more today, just to like show how the rotation would work. But yeah, in the map that I worked on, it had like same sort of like, instead of this arch being here, there was an arch here, more like an entrance like this that the CTs could hold. The second, like the CT mid, and the arch entrance, and the T's, if they want to push through, they would either get up close to this one and then jump up to it very close, or just like push past it into a bomb site entrance down there. And this map could do something very similar. And then with that, this entrance is not needed. This whole area has to choke, or not choke, but has to connect back to CT in a way that the CTs can get there. Also, the B bomb side entrance connector has to be like more playable for the CT. Right now, it's really one and done. There's no height variation between this connector. There's no creative way to play it instead, like outside of just like holding there. You can boost up onto this, but even then, it's like it's a terrible idea, I'd say. You're very stuck, and you have to jump to get out of the way. You know, like, oh, I'm holding an angle. Like, oh no, I'm getting shot, and now I'm stuck under a roof and this little thing. Oh, you can. Okay, this is good. Glad no one used it. Okay, I'm kind of like bouncing between feedback. The bomb site has too many like pillars. Has 3 monumental pillar structures that you can play around. Imagine terrorists, or well, players positioning all around these, and you have to figure out where they are in a clutch situation. They could be behind the wall. You clear it, and now they know exactly where you are for what, like 2 seconds? Unless you change position. Well, now there's this box, but you have to clear behind here. Well, now you're open to both of the mains, and you're just clearing one thing, while you still have this whole thing, and you have to clear it. Clear this backside because I didn't clear it, all the while being exposed to everything else. There's this little cubby here. There's the main, or like this little area here. And then I wrap around. There's so much to clear here. There's this position. Terrorist players could be, you know, positioned everywhere along this. Down in the pit. There's so much. There's just so much. Definitely removing this cover, using this block here, maybe tilting it 90 degrees so that you can actually have some respite. Once you push from the main, you push behind it, and you can like smoke between here. So imagine the blocks being along like here. You could smoke this up and then still push past that without these boxes being in the way. And then you could add like one more box, just a teeny tiny box for the CTs to like push up behind when they're retaking. Then they could like, you know, use this to create a great effect with the cover. Yeah, the positioning with the bomb site cover when you're pushing into it, it feels so random. When Shady was showing me the map, I didn't know, like I thought that this was the terrorist entrance, and I was like, oh, that's cool. So like the T's have a very open bomb site to the main, and then they can like smoke back there, and then nullify one of the great angles. But then I realized, I was like, fuck, that's a CT entrance, and these are the T entrances, and I feel like the bomb site cover in and of itself should be tilted like 180 degrees around. Like these boxes should be moved here, and this box should be tilted 90 degrees. This is fine, but it doesn't give you any cover. Like it's just it's in the way. I don't get this. God damn it! I have like crazy amounts of fucking mucus. Yeah. B-long timings, I don't mind them, they're fine. The flashbang was just brutal, as it was like a crazy pop flash. It's like bouncing a flash on A-long like this. You know, the wall flash? That flashes everyone over there. Yeah, it was even harder. Or maybe we just were like a little bit sucky. I don't like this jump. I get what you're trying to go for. Maybe you should actually keep it, but then again, like this headshot angle here, it's crazy. Like that, then incorporate some like height variation to the bomb side. Like it's very flat. You don't do anything with the height variation, and it remains as, you know, as a boring little element. Untapped potential, let's say. The player positioning as a T. You have to expose yourself to this angle here, like that little entrance, too much and for too long to be able to get into this cover, and then you're very stuck. This position is too deep. Why do you have this little cubby here? It's annoying to clear. Like this piece of wall is already quite enough. This has to be easier to boost on top of. Otherwise, it makes no sense to work your ass off to get into an alternate position and then like see the players boosting over there, and they're like, oh fuck. After getting all this control over the long, you're just like kind of dying to the boost. You have to do like one boost, and then another guy is like, oh, 1, 2, 2, and then you maneuver around the lip. Yeah, there were quite a lot of like aspects of the map that I wasn't happy when playing. That just kind of like frustrated me, and I was like going like, oh, what is this? What is this? Yeah, and I told the map makers like my straight feedback. I said that I did not like this map, and I did not enjoy my playlist. Or like, you know, playing the map, I did not enjoy my time on it, and it's important feedback. Like if the map is fighting against the players, then, you know, there's not much gameplay to be had. Coffee there, coffee. Okay. A-bomb site. I feel like A-bomb site's issues are way easier to fix. Rather, B-bomb sites, just like you have to really think about the flow. How do you push into where? What position that you push into? How does it make clearing another position easier with your time invested into pushing? or your time invested into moving from one position to another that you might be in a position where you cannot fall back down easily from, but you are in a very good place to peek another corner. Stuff like that. This railing is in the way, but I like it for its utility, which there is not that much of. And I think that the railing should be just a box in the middle here that you can actually stand up and get another angle down there. This was good for anti-pushes, like just the covering for a push, and it's great. Yeah, it's good for utility as well. This little lip makes no sense. It's not enough height variation to actually make a different angle, which I think there should be. And I think actually this should be removed, and it only should be kept in here as such that you can actually watch it from CT's point, that you can watch one angle over here. This doesn't exist. This is like cut off from where I shot. That's just like normal level plane. You can watch it. But if you're watching from like back here, a very like narrow angle, now you have to be open to like two angles basically, so that it's only in the corner. The main, this triangle, square, rectangle thing has to be taken away. I see what you were trying to go for, like a T terraced safe spot, but it fails at that. It fails at doing its like minimal work, and it's just like falling down and stumbling. It's like shoelaces are tied to each other by a school bully, and it's just like crying on the floor. Yeah, it's kind of a sad corner. Take it away. Take it away. Take it off. Remove it. Also with this box, I think it should be removed as well. This angle is cool, but it was ruined by the school bully in question, the headshot angle. And I know it's wall bangable, but it's not clear. Like, it's not clear to the player that it's like there could be a player head like just there. And it's so annoying. Like, the cities can get away like so easily behind like a very solid cover. So I was actually yesterday, going with Silverty around the map. This heaven area has to be fleshed out more. Like you could still keep the heaven coming out from here, and then it's like being like like extending in the way that it does, like here. It's like a walkway over there. The way to negate it as T would be to smoke. For example, like if you keep this cover, move it a little bit back so it's like over there, so you can actually smoke in front of the box and the wall to disable the CT player. And now, as the CT player is in the heaven, now they have to push out to hold an angle like this behind the smoke or something. We also went over the silo. I think the second silo should be pushed over here, so that as a CT pushing into the bomb site, you can hug this wall, clear these two angles, and then check that, and then you can slowly start peeking into the left side while you're moving behind the second silo, peeking under the heaven, and now you're in the bomb site. Imagine this wouldn't exist. Now you're in the bomb site. Now you can start clearing main, clearing behind there, fighting connector, fighting behind this box, stuff like that. Again, flow. How do you move from one position to another whilst trading your own position? The risk of moving from one point to another, stepping into someone's sideline. How do you trade that to an actual information that you can, use against the other player? There has to be like a trade there. You have to get something for something. So here you're just like moving into a player's like sideline without realizing where they are, with no cover to utilize or to get away from that trade. Here there's too much of cover and too many positions, so you get into cover whilst trading position information from yourself, but you're not really you're none the wiser of the T position. Like, it's not calculated. And I'll finish the video off. That's been going for 25 minutes with movement. It's fucking awkward to maneuver around this level. It's like, I hit my shoulder. Like, imagine, you know, as a kid when you were running around the house, you were like super fucking Speedy Gonzalez, just fucking running around and hitting your like shoulder or toe literally everywhere. This map, like, it fucking hurts me. Like, you know, just to get to mid. And then from here, you're like, you turn right here, you see on your right side, you see the level end, kind of. An arrow to B, like, oh, okay. Does this mean that it's like here or in that direction? Okay, another arrow. And you turn around to tons of headshot angles and just like not very clear CT timings. I think like you could keep the position of the apps like coming out like that with a very clear choke point. Like that. So that you only peek to the sideline, but you don't expose yourself. And it's about calculated exposure. Yeah. What else? I think that's all. And also Silverty knows about the feedback that I gave, that the heaven connector could be like here, so that as a T, when you push into CT main, if you push far enough, you can negate 2 entrances to the bomb site, turning them into 1, and thus the risk of pushing into an unclaimed counter-terrorist territory, it's risky. The area is designed in the way that defenders and retakers should be in the you know, have the upper hand, and you're taking a risk whilst you could be killed from a position like this. You're taking a risk with a headshot angle. But yeah, you're getting something for your movement or your positioning and safety being in danger. Nice serve. Okay. I need to leave for work. 28 minutes of feedback. Nice. Ramble on. Take care. See ya.